Hello guys, my name is Imo King and welcome back to my DaVinci Resolve Beginner Masterclass. In this video, I'm going to show you how to import and organize media in DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to show you how to sort your media files in the media pool and also how to sort your media files on your timeline. I promise you that after watching this video, you will not need to watch any other video out there to know how to organize or import files because I've done a thorough research before creating this video. Now, there are several ways to import into DaVinci Resolve. You can import clips over here in our edit page. You can also import into the cut page. You can also import into the media page. So you can select the edit page over here. And the first way is the simple drag and drop method. So for example, if I come to my window explorer over here and I want to import all these files into DaVinci Resolve, all I need to do is to make sure that I am on the media pool. If you don't see this, it's because you are probably in the effects tab or you are in one of the other tabs over here. Select the media pool over here and I'm going to toggle on my window explorer once more, be in the media pool once more like I said, and you can simply select the clip you want to import by hitting Ctrl and selecting the clips randomly. Or if you want to select all, just select the first and hold down Shift and drag all, or you can deselect and hit Ctrl+A to select all and use the simple drag and drop method and drag and drop into your media pool over here. Now, if you receive this prompt, I would suggest that you change it to fit the settings over there. And as you can see, these files have automatically been imported into DaVinci Resolve. Now, if I come over to the cut page, you will see them over here under the master in the media pool. The same thing if you come over to the media, under the master over here, you'll find them down here in your media pool. I'm going to go back to edit and select all these clips and delete them. Another way to import your clips in DaVinci Resolve is to simply hit Ctrl+I and your Windows Explorer will pop up. You can select the clips you want to import and hit import and just hit change if you prefer to change it to the aspect ratio. And now we have those clips imported into DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to hit Ctrl+Z to undo that. Another way to import clips into DaVinci Resolve, you could do this, any of these, like I said, in the edit page, in the cut page, or in the media page. Another way is to go over to File and come down and select Import and select Import Media and just simply select the files you want to import and hit Open. And you can find them under Master in the media pool here. And if you go to the cut page, you'll find them also under Master in the media pool. And if you come over to the edit page over here, you can find them again under master in the media pool. I'm going to hit Ctrl+Z to undo that once more. Another way also to import media is to come over to the media tab and come over to your control panel. So you have your system usage, you have your control panel user. Just select the folder where you have your files in your computer. For example, you can see that this is videos over here. Now under your videos, you select the folder where you have it, and from here you can simply drag to where you see this no clips in media pool. This represents your media pool, and you can simply drag this file to where you want it, and that's simply it, how to drag and import files into DaVinci Resolve. I'm going to hit Ctrl+Z to undo all of that once more. A better way is to organize your clips into folders called bins and subfolders called subbins when importing into DaVinci. So for example, if I come over to the edit tab and I come under my master over here, right click and select new bin, and you can call this bin videos. I'm going to suggest that you name your bins based on the project you are working on. So if you need another folder that is for images, I'll just right click here and select new bin and call this images. And if you need another folder, let me drag this down so we can have room. You can just right click and select a new bin and call this audio files. And now under my master, I have the video folders, the image folders, and the audio folders. Now you can select the video over here and you'll notice it's empty. You can decide to import the videos into the videos tab by hitting Ctrl+I or going to File over here and selecting Import and select Media and select a video and hit Open. And this video has been added to my video folder. You need to be very careful when using this method because if I should, for example, hit Ctrl+I to import and select an audio file and import it, an audio file has been added to my video folder. So I'm going to hit Ctrl+Z to undo that. So to import an image, you could just select your image folder over here. Now the image folder has been opened. Hit Ctrl+I And if you want to select an image, just go to anywhere on your computer where you have your images and select any image you prefer and hit open. And now I've imported an image. And the same thing with my audio. I could just select my audio folder, hit Ctrl I, and go to where I have my music files over here. Select one music and just hit open. And now I have videos, I have image, and I have audios. So basically, even under my audio tab over here, I could right click to create sub-bins under my audio file. For example, if I want to sort my audio into, let's say I want an audio for dialogue, I want a folder for dialogue, and dialogue is maybe the video recordings from interviews where someone is speaking like a talking head, and I could deselect that, and I could right click and select one for maybe background music, depending on the project I'm working with. If I need a background music, I could select under it and select a new bin, and I could call this SFX, which signifies the sound effects that I want to use. And in that same way, I could carry this music over here and drag it into my background over here. That's how I want it. So now my audio folder is now having subfolders, which is dialogue, background, and SFX. So now you can select the dialogue and import your dialogue into this folder by hitting Ctrl I, and just select a dialogue. For example, I could just use this for example and hit open. Now I have a dialogue, I have a background music, and you could import your SFX. The same way you could sort your images, you could sort your images into different subfolders. For example, if I right click on the images, I could select new bin and call this new bin camera 1 if I used multiple cameras, or I could right click and create a new bin and say iPhone footages. If I shot with my iPhone, maybe I write iPhone 14. And now I can select this camera 1 and import footages based on that particular camera. So I could just go to videos now and just go and select a video that was shot with my camera. This videos from an event that I shot in France, and hit open and hit my iPhone over here. Now, if I select the camera 1, you see the video over here. Now you can go over to iPhone 14 and hit Ctrl I and scroll back to where you have videos with your iPhone 14. I'm going to deselect all of this. So basically, this is another way to import and organize clips in DaVinci Resolve into folders and subfolders. So when I open each folder, we have those files inside there, right? So I'm going to select all these folders now and delete them. Another way to do this is to come over to your Window Explorer, and this is, for me, the method I prefer to use, and organize your folder over here. So I have a folder here called Lesson 2, and inside this folder, I've created folders that are for audio, background, images, and video. So let me turn this into a list view so you can see it this way. Now, inside the audio folder, what I have done is I've created a folder for my background music, a folder for dialogue, a folder for sound effects. If I click on sound effects, you can see that I have sound effects. Now, if I go back to this folder, Lesson 2, I have a folder for backgrounds. You can see backgrounds, depending on what you want to work with on your project. If I click on images, I have images from camera and I have images from stock footages. Now, what this does is when you have sorted out your media files in your Window Explorer on your PC, all you need to do is to go back to where this folder is. And if you're on the media tab, for example, over here, you can just select this folder and drag it under the master over here. And you could receive a prompt telling you to either change to fit the frame rate of your project. If you like, you hit change. And if you come over to DaVinci Resolve under the master over here, you will notice that automatically we have imported based on folders. Now, under my master, I have the Lesson 2 folder, and I have these folders exactly how they were arranged in my PC. Now, if I open this folder, I have the audio, I have the images, I have the videos, and I have the background. If I open the audio, you'll see we have the sound effects, we have the background music, and we have the dialogue. If I should select the image, you see we have the camera 1 and we have the stock footages. And if I should close the images and go over to videos, you'll notice that we have the camera 1 videos, we have the camera videos, which has the folder for camera 1, camera 2, and iPhone. So basically, you want to sort your folders to look this way, organized. I'm going to hit Ctrl Z to undo the importation of these files. Another way to import your media in DaVinci Resolve is to come over under this section. You will see your control panel, your user king video. So you can just select a folder under your PC where you have your files. I have my files, the Lesson 2 folder over here. I could go back using this So rather than me going to drag from DaVinci Resolve, I could just select this. And if I want to drag in these audio files, all I need to do is to select all of them and drag them into DaVinci Resolve. But if I want to select one clip, I could just right click and add into my media pool. So basically, these are all separate ways to import files into DaVinci Resolve. You want to go ahead and choose the method that works best for you. Now, that's it with importing files. Now, we need to go in depth into how to organize our files in DaVinci Resolve. And the reason why you need to organize when you import your files is that they help you save times. Imagine if you have your media pool that is filled with so much files, it's going to be difficult for you to sort your files, right? But what if you already have files that you have imported into DaVinci Resolve and now you have trouble sorting them? For example, if I come over to my videos project over here and I scroll down and I just randomly import all these clips into DaVinci Resolve. Let me randomly import all these clips into DaVinci. Okay, I hold down Shift and I select all these and I drag them all into DaVinci Resolve and I allow it to change. Now I have all these videos. If I come over to the Edit tab, you'll see them in this dimension. Let me add some images so you can see what I mean. So for example, if I come over to Pictures and I select Save Pictures, I hit Ctrl A and I import all of them. Now imagine if I have my videos and my images this way. Let me also add some audio files. I have some audio files that I've imported into DaVinci without sorting them. Let's say I just go ahead and import my sound effects also without creating folders. Now, what happens is when I want to begin to drag these files onto my timeline to edit them, there's a problem. It's difficult for me to now begin to sort them from all of this, right? But there's a way that you can organize your clips even when you've already imported them into DaVinci Resolve. The way to do that is to use smart bins. Now, these are smart bins over here. To use them, the first thing you want to ensure is that you can actually see the smart bins. If you can't see the smart bins, come over to these three dots over here and select it and scroll down here and make sure that Show Smart Bins is checked on. Another thing you need to do is to come over here to DaVinci Resolve and select DaVinci Resolve and select Preferences. Now, if you're on the System tab over here, change it to User and select Editing over here and scroll down here and check Smart Bin for timelines and hit Save. What this will do is that it is going to add a timeline smart bin over here, and we are going to see how this works. Now, for example, if you have multiple timelines, let's say the name of this timeline, as you can see, is just select timeline. What if I create a timeline from a clip? Let's say I come over to this clip over here and I right click on this clip and I select create new timeline using this clip and I give the name of this clip how to and I hit create. Now we have a timeline called how to. Now, sometimes it may be difficult to locate your timeline because you have too many files over here and you just need to locate your timeline. For example, you could have multiple timelines. For example, if I come over to, let me select another video clip over here. I select this and I create new timeline from clip and I call it Sonic, for example, and I hit create. Now we have two timelines. This is the timeline that I've created for how to for this project. And this is another timeline for another project. Let's say you are someone who likes to work on several projects. Now, it may be difficult at times to locate all these timelines. So the easiest way for you to sort them out is to use smart bins. Just come over to under your smart bins and select timeline, and you will see only the timelines that you have created. And right under the timeline over here, we have this folder called collections. Now, what this does is, if you come here and select video clips, it's going to help you to sort your media pool and show you only the video clips. So as you can see over here, I have only video clips. There are no pictures here and there are no images over here. And if you come over to audio only, you'll notice that now I have only audio files. There are no video files here and there are no pictures over here. So if you are on the studio version or the paid version in DaVinci Resolve, you'll also have these sub features that allow you to sort out your audios to dialogue, music, effects, and silences, and all of these other categorized versions. To do that, all you need to do is to come over to the audio only tab over here and highlight all the audio files by hitting Ctrl+A and right click and scroll down and select audio classification and select analyze. And what will happen is that DaVinci Resolve is going to use AI to analyze the audio files and filter them for you. And as you can see, DaVinci Resolve is analyzing my 532 clips over here. And once this is done, If I come over to this section over here and drag this so you can see this clearer, I'm going to move this higher. Now, if I come over to dialogue, you can see all the dialogues in this clip. If I come over to music, you can see the music, the background music. If I come over to sound effects, you can see all the sound effects. I don't have any silence, so okay, there are some silence in it and all of that. And DaVinci can even able to select some that are not categorized into any of these and subcategories and all of that. Another thing you need to know as a beginner is how to organize your footage to know what has been used and what has not been used on the timeline. To do that, you want to come over to the master media pool over here, and you want to set it as the list view. You may be on the thumbnail view, set it to be on the list view over here. And if I move this a bit, you'll notice that we have some other names over here. Now I have usage. You will not have usage if you've not added it before. To add a new header over here, what you want to do is to right click on this blank space next to click name, and you can come over and scroll down and look for usage. Now make sure that yours is checked on and you are going to have this usage over here. Now what this does is that it shows you how many times a clip has been used in the timeline. Now you can see that we have 2 for Sonic and we have 2 for how to add vignette. This is because for Sonic over here, we have both the video file and the audio file. So the DaVinci Resolve is recording that 2 files have been added to this timeline. For how to over here also is recording that we have 2 files because it has video and audio. Now, if you select this clip over here and deselect this link media, delete the video file, you will notice that this has turned to 1. So if you scroll down now and add a music file into DaVinci Resolve, you will notice that 1 has been added. And if I select this and add this also onto my timeline, you'll notice that 1 has been added. And if I deselect it, you'll notice that it has turned back to 0 over here. And if you wanted to sort it based on usage, you can just come over here and select the usage, and it's going to sort it based on the usage. So we'll have the ones with the highest usage at the top over here, and the ones that are unused will be at the bottom over here. Another thing you can do to sort out your clips is to create sub-clips from your main clips. So for example, if I come over here and select a clip that is not already on my timeline, for example, if I select this clip, a preview appears over here. I can move to this portion over here and hit I to add an in point, and move forward and hit O to add an out point. Now this section has been added. Now I can right click over here and select create sub-clip. And this helps me to mark in and out points of a clip that I want to use before importing into my timeline. So I can just call this sub-clip 1 and hit create. Now, if you scroll down, we are going to have sub-clip at this bottom over here. You can also mark in and out points from a particular clips that you want to use, different in and out points, and you can go ahead and create more sub-clips from other footages. For example, I come over here, select here, I hit I come over here, select it, I hit O, I right-click this portion and I hit create sub-clip, and I call this sub-clip 2, and I hit create. Now, if you go to the bottom portion over here, we now have sub-clip 1 and sub-clip 2. Now, if you want to tidy things a bit, let's say you have a lot of clips in DaVinci and you're done and you want to tidy things a bit, you want to take out the clips you do not need, all you need to do is to come over to this 3 dots over here and select it, and select remove unused clips. And DaVinci Resolve will delete all the clips that you have not used, organizing your media pool for you. So we have these timelines over here and we have the clips over here. But all this seems so manual and so challenging to do. An easier way is to use the smart bins. So if we come over back to our smart bins over here, and you right click an empty space under it, you can select add smart bin, and you can give this smart bin a name. For example, if you want to sort files based on usage, so you can call this used. So from used, you come over here and you change it from file name, you change it to usage, and you change it to is greater than, and you make the figure over here 0, and you select show in all projects. And if you hit create, what you have done is you've created a smart bin here that is used. So anytime you select this, you'll be able to see only files that have been used in your timeline. Now, to create a subfolder for files that have not been used in your timeline, the first thing I'm going to do is to import files. So I'm going to come over to my master over here because I've already cleared out the files that have not been used, and hit Ctrl I, and I'm going to import some files and hit open. So now we have files that have not been used. Now, if we select used, we can only see those that have not been used. Now, to see those that have not been used, I'm going to right click on this and duplicate this. I'm going to rename this and change this to unused. And you can move this unused to the smart bin. So under our smart bin, we have used and unused. Now select this, right click and select edit. Now what you want to do is to change this unused to the figure is 0 and hit OK. So anytime you select unused, you're going to be having files that their usage is 0 and they have not been imported into the timeline. Now the smart bins can be used for several other things. For example, if you right click on an empty space and you select add smart bin, you can change it from file name. You can select clip type and say that the clip type is video plus audio. For example, if you want to see clips that has audio and you do not want to see only audio clips or only video clips, you can change this to still to see only images. You can create to see only compound clips. You can create to see only timelines. You can create to see only mates. And if you scroll down, you have a lot of other options like VFX and fusions and all of that. You can also change it from clip type to resolution, for example, and you can create your resolution, for example, 1920 by 1080 footages. And if you hit create, when you come over here, you select this, you will see only the footages that are called, okay, I didn't rename this. You can see only the footages that are on 1920 by 1080. I'm going to rename this and call this resolution. You can also organize your clips in your media pool for your timeline. For example, if I come over to the master over here, I can select all my video clips over here by hitting Control and selecting them and right click. And you can give it a clip color. For example, if I select clip color and hit orange, you will notice that these videos, if I bring them into my timeline, they are going to have this particular color. And for example, I can select this music file over here and select this music file and select this music file and right click and select clip color. And I could give it a color that is pink. And if I bring in these audio files right now, they are all going to become pink in color. So basically, you can sort your timeline to be the color you prefer. And to remove colors, all you need to do is to highlight them, select, go to clip color and clear color. And now the color has gone back to normal. I'm going to hit Ctrl Z to undo all of that. Now to add markers to your video clips, all you need to do is to select that video clip and select a marker, and a marker will be added to the bottom of your clip. You can use the marker to represent whatever information you want to remind you about that particular clip. You can add multiple markers by selecting this arrow and selecting a new color you prefer to add a new color to that flag. Sorry guys, these are flags and not marker, to add a new flag to that clip. Now, if you want to add markers, all you need to do is to select the marker over here, and this is going to add a marker to the position where your playhead is on your timeline. So if I move over here and I want to add a marker at this position, all you need to do is to select the arrow and select the preferred color. And this can be indications for you to tell you that, okay, over here, something happened. Over here, I need to cut and do any other thing. And if you want to add marker to the timeline and not to the clip, all you need to do is to deselect the clip and select marker, and it's going to add a marker to the timeline over here. To delete a marker, select the marker, right click, and you can select remove all markers. And that will remove all the markers on the timeline. To remove all the markers on a clip over here, I'll come over to this arrow and clear all, and that will clear all the markers. To remove all the flags, come over to this flag and clear all, and that has cleared all the flags from that clip. And that's it, guys, on how to import and organize all you need to know how to organize your clip on your timeline and on your media pool in DaVinci Resolve. Thank you for watching lesson 2, and see you in our next lesson.